Capital are evacuating 15 more families from a neighborhood hit by a mudslide last week. 1,700 homes were destroyed. At least 50 people were killed when heavy rain caused a hillside to collapse in La Paz. About half of the displaced have moved into government shelters. Thousands followed a 50-strong samba band through the streets of Rio in Brazil on Sunday to celebrate Carnival. At the parade in the city's business district, people were dressed as nuns, devils, superheroes, and just about anything else you can imagine. Sunday will be the first of 2 nights of parades in Rio's Sambadrome Stadium. But it won't be the same for 3 of the city's samba schools. They spent all year building elaborate floats and costumes, only to watch a huge fire destroy everything. AlJazeera met Elizabeth Santana. She works at one of those schools. This is her story.
My name is Elizabeth Santana. When I have nothing to do in the sculpture department, I come over here to this float decoration section. When you have nothing to do, you go help others, because those very people will in turn help you when you really need it. This year, I have seen lots of solidarity between the different departments. This tragedy helped us come together for the school. Most of the things were finished. When I saw the windows shattering, I was overcome. The windows of our workshop exploding really was shocking because I thought about all my friends inside. Not to mention losing all of our work. There were lives to worry about inside, so I was panicky. The things that we were building over several months were lost in the fire in seconds. There is no explanation. It hurts even to think about it. We still will have our parade because we need to show that Portela is not just a school, it's a family. We are all in this together, working for the school. It's not just us. Portela has a long tradition. It's a big league school which goes back a long time. We have to parade no matter what. Everything that you work hard at, which you make an extra effort at, is much more satisfying when you see the final result.
And that's all from the Americas. Let's return to Doha.
Thanks, Shihab. All the sport is coming up in the next few minutes, and we'll also be taking you to the jungles of Indonesia for a night hunt. Find out what these former farmers are after here on Al Jazeera.
A debilitating condition afflicting millions of women across the developing world.
Sometimes it is not possible to cure a patient with fistula. We have to prepare her psychologically.
Revealing the human stories behind fistula and its intimate connection to poverty. A powerful new series exploring global maternal health. Birthrights, at this time on Al Jazeera.
It was a revolution which ended half a century of autocratic rule and inspired a wave of public protest that swept across the Arab world.
Internet, Facebook, Twitter, they were not the revolution.
In an exclusive 2-part documentary, Raghi Omar traces the roots and repercussions of this uprising and examines why 23 years of dictatorship fell in only 28 days. The Death of Fear, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Welcome back. Well, with all the latest on the Cricket World Cup and the rest of the day's sports news, here's Stuart.
Yes, thanks. And England have proved once again why they're the most unpredictable side in the Cricket World Cup, following up Wednesday's defeat to Ireland with a victory over South Africa, one of the tournament favourites in another thrilling 50-over match. Joanna Gazarowska watched the action.
South Africa and their fans have been enjoying their moment in the sun at this Cricket World Cup. With 2 wins from 2, their confidence was boosted further as Robin Peterson dismissed both the England openers in the very first over. Skipper Andrew Strauss went for a duck, while Kevin Peterson was gone after just 2 runs. Imran Tahir then grabbed 4 wickets as England were all out for what seemed to be a paltry 171. Strauss's men had already suffered a shock defeat to Ireland in this tournament, and their bowlers were determined to avoid another loss. But South Africa made 63 runs before captain Graham Smith was removed, although it didn't actually look like he'd touched the ball on his way to being caught. That seemed to change the momentum. Stuart Broad was on target to bowl Hashim Amla, and just 7 runs later Broad struck again, Jacques Kallis going. South Africa went on to lose their last 7 wickets for just 41 runs by the time Broad took his 4th and final scalp, England clawing back an unlikely 6-run win, which should be enough to help them take one of 4 quarter-final berths from Group B.
Well, it was a huge game for us. You know, after the Ireland game, we really needed to come out and show some character. You know, we definitely needed to do that. We didn't do it as much with the bat as we would have liked, but to be fair to the guys, they dug very deep in the field.
We knew chasing today was going to be tough. You know, and we knew we had to restrict England with the ball, and 170 I thought was a good total for us to chase, but unfortunately we weren't good enough today.
Joanna Gazarowska, AlJazeera.
Ireland, meanwhile, gave India a bit of a scare in the day's second match, reducing them to 100 for 4 at one stage, chasing 208 to win. But some big hitting from Yusuf Pathan and an unbeaten half-century from Yuvraj Singh, who'd earlier taken 5 wickets, saw India home with 4 overs to spare.
This is what I try and do in tough situations, try and bat well for India, take my team to victory, you know, bowl well, field well. That's what I try and do, and you know, that's what I try and do every day. I'm very happy that, you know, last 2 games I scored 2 50s, and I'm hitting the ball well, I'm bowling well, so things are looking good for me.
Real Madrid have closed the gap on Barcelona at the top of Spain's La Liga, back to 7 points. Real won 3-1 at Racing Santander in the final Spanish match of the weekend. Emmanuel Adebayor and Karim Benzema put Real 2-0 ahead in the first half. Kennedy pulled one back for the home side 15 minutes from time to make a game of it, but a second Benzema goal made the game safe for Real Madrid. 3-1 the final score. In Italy, Inter have closed the gap on leaders and city rivals AC Milan to 5 points. Inter hit Genoa for 5 at the San Siro. All their goals came in the second half. Now, Inter really had to win this match after AC Milan's win 24 hours earlier, but it was mid-table Genoa who took a shock lead late in the first half. Rodrigo Palacio with the goal. It all changed, though, after the break into a quickly level. Gianpaolo Pazzini with the equaliser. Samuel Eto'o then scored a couple, his second here arguably the pick of Inter's goals. That one made it 3-1, and there's still time for Inter to grab a couple more.